Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm not gonna lie, I've been up for literally 4 minutes because we have a brand new update live in Warzone now that includes some gameplay fixes, but also a ton of new weapon tuning as well. So we got quite a bit to go over today as we break it all down. If you enjoy the video at any point, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD. So feel free to hit that sub button and turn on those post notifications. With that said, let's go ahead. Let's get into the May 4th update. So for gameplay, for the armored truck, the health and resistance decreased to be in line but still greater than the cargo truck, and the turret damage was decreased by 40%. That's a pretty big nerf. The turret on this armored truck was insanely powerful. It could kill you in like 4 to 5 shots. Super annoying to run into, so I'm glad they did go through and actually nerf that. That'll be a much needed gameplay change, at least in my opinion. Now for bug fixes, they got some pretty important ones here. Fixed an issue preventing players using an Xbox Silver account. We talked about that earlier, so the whole gold flake error is fixed. Fixed an issue causing players to encounter a controller issue while navigating the buy station. Hopefully this time, this is the whole buy station resetting back to the top. It's officially fixed because they've fixed it, I think, twice already, and it hasn't been fixed yet. They also fixed an issue causing the AMP63 challenge to not track correctly. Issues with the cape elements on the following skins, the Ancestral Spirit and the Astrake and Padmavati skins, so you'll love to see that. Those skins have been broken for a bit now. Also fixed issues causing the following weapons to not gain weapon XP. The KGM40, the Volk, the AS44, the NZ41, and the PTRS. I've seen a ton of different players commenting about how they can't unlock those weapons. They can't level them correctly, so that should now be fixed as well. We also have a ton of weapon tuning adjustments here, and we're going to go ahead and actually break these down on the clean version of the website where all the changes, all the buffs and nerfs are way easier to understand. So we're here on the clean version of the site, and this is what we got going on. Vanguard Weapons have been struggling to perform on par with their peers since they dropped into the Warzone. This update is laying the groundwork to resolve that. Engagement distances have only increased since the transition to Caldera. More skirmishes are taking place within minimum damage ranges. As a result, weapons that have low minimum damage ranges or low minimum damage in general have become largely inviable. Unfortunately for Vanguard Weapons, this was often the case. Below, you'll find a myriad of changes aimed at injecting some budding competition into the echelon of Warzone weaponry. Huge updates here, folks. First up, we're starting with a Cold War AK nerf, something we have not seen in quite some time. Maximum damage decreased to 34, so that's the close range damage. Minimum damage decreased to 30, that's the long range damage. So in all areas now, the Cold War AK is going to be a little bit worse, which is a much awaited change. For the AS44, the initial recoil was decreased. The maximum damage range was increased to 29.8 up from 28.4, so that's a small difference in meters there. And then also for the 615mm barrel, the maximum damage range was increased by 20% up from 15%. For the STG, we can go ahead and zoom in here as well. For the STG, the headshot damage multiplier was increased, the neck multiplier was decreased, the maximum damage range was increased, or the maximum damage rather, and the minimum damage was also increased. So up close and at a distance, it'll deal more damage. I think that pretty much pushes the STG into the main fold for long range meta. For the Garanko mags here, they also decreased the fire rate a little bit. For the rapid barrel, the sprint to fire was increased, the movement speed is increased, the initial recoil penalty now begins a bullet later, the control was decreased horizontally, the fire rate was decreased, or the fire rate multiplier was, the maximum damage range was decreased, and the damage was decreased, so that'll be a better close range barrel now. Then also for the recoil booster, the fire rate multiplier was decreased a bit as well. For the Itra burst, the maximum damage and the minimum damage were both increased here, so again, up close and at a distance, it's going to be better. For the bar, the maximum damage was increased, the minimum damage was increased again, the minimum damage by quite a bit, so up close, the bar is going to be pretty solid by the looks of that. For the 27-inch barrel, the maximum damage range was also increased, so some big changes there. For Assault Rifle Hotel, I believe this is going to be the Automaton, the minimum damage was increased a little bit there. For the Cooper, the maximum damage range was increased a bit, nothing too crazy there, but some. Then also for the Cooper custom barrel, the damage range is now increased by 20, and the minimum damage was increased as well. So the Cooper is definitely going to be back in the whole sniper support meta, I would say, for sure, based off of these changes here. For the EM2, the headshot multiplier was decreased, the max damage was decreased, and the minimum damage was decreased. That's going to be a little bit worse all around. For the KGM40, maximum damage range was increased a little bit. The 700mm barrel also increases range, and the minimum damage was increased. For the Nikita AVT, our new rifle for Season 3, obviously, magazine capacity increased a little bit, so that's always solid. Minimum damage increased, so it'll be better up close. It's already decent for sniper support. For the 40-round fast mags, better capacity. For the Sakura mags, better capacity. Same deal with the 7.62 by 54, then also the fast mags for that as well. So everything got better capacity. They say, while the Nikita has been performing moderately well, we felt its magazine capacity and minimum damage was holding it back from the sniper support. Also, by the way, minimum damage, I misspoke, is long range. So it should be a better sniper support option. These changes will undoubtedly instill the Nikita as one of the formidable ground loot options. That's also solid that it's helping out with the ground loot meta as well. For the NZ41, maximum damage range was increased. The minimum damage was also increased for long range. For the Sakura mags, damage penalty decreased a little bit, down from 30%. We also have the Orb Weaver custom barrel here. Damage range penalty removed entirely, which is pretty solid. Horizontal control was decreased. For the Volk, minimum damage was increased, so gonna be better at long range. For the XM4, they did another nerf here. Headshot multiplier increased, but maximum damage decreased, so it'll be worse up close now. So some big nerfs to some of these main meta weapons. For subs, we've had plenty of changes here too. You can see we still got a decent amount of changes to go through, but for subs, for the Armaguerra, headshot damage multiplier increased, minimum damage increased for long range, and then neck multiplier increased as well. For the Bodhi barrel, velocity is now increased. For the precision barrel, same deal, and then also same deal for the 550 millimeter barrel. For the Tommy gun, mid damage was increased and also minimum damage as well, so that'll be a bit better for sniper support. For the cooling barrel, velocity is better, and same deal with the chariot barrel as well. For the Owen gun, the long range damage is now even better, so this is going to be even better for sniper support now, which is a huge change. For the PBSH, minimum damage was increased. For the Empress 140, velocity is better, and for the Zac 300, velocity is better as well. For the Sten, mid damage and then min damage, so mid range and long range a little bit better. For the Guan short barrel, velocity is better. For the Hawkinson barrel, velocity is a bit better. MP40, long range damage increased a little bit. 317 millimeter, better velocity, that's a huge buff. Short barrel, better velocity, that's an even bigger buff. So the MP40 setup just got even better in my opinion. Type 100, minimum damage increase, so obviously again long range. The light barrel, velocity is better. Shirashi barrel, velocity is better. Warbachi barrel, rapid barrel, velocity is better. And then for the well gun, minimum damage increased. Long range again. Go on short, better velocity, no velocity penalty actually, and for the Hawkinson, better velocity as well. Finally, for attachments on perks, Vital, the upper torso multiplier was decreased. Vital already sucks, so there's no point in using that as is. But my, oh my, am I gonna have to redo so many videos for later on this week. If you guys don't know, I prep videos like 4 to 5 days in advance, and all these loadout videos I feel like are probably gonna be changed here because this was an absolute ton of weapon tuning changes that absolutely shift up the meta, especially for long range. This makes things like the STG a lot more close to competing with something like an AK or an XM4. Let me know what you guys think about these changes though. Definitely some solid bug fixes, but obviously the important stuff here, the weapon changes. Obviously we're gonna have videos covering this later on this week, breaking down what exactly is going on with the meta and the new best setups to be using for some of these guns that are absolutely way better than they were before. So that being said, that is going to wrap things up for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, let me know by dropping a like on it. And if you're new here or if you have not already subscribed, every single day I got you covered with all things going on in COD, news, updates, loadouts, tips. You're going to find it all right here. So feel free to subscribe with those notifications turned on. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day. And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.